Anyway, back to Twitter. So some of you on Twitter, look, if you're not on Twitter, my strong advice would be never ever go on Twitter. Yeah, that's absolutely, don't do it. Exactly. If you are on Twitter, then my equally strong advice would be don't look at it. Okay? Because it's total and utter nonsense. I have literally lost weeks, if not months, almost years of my life going into these kind of vortices of utter nonsense. So I don't know, a year ago, and I did give a little thing about this, I came across the flat earthers on Twitter. Do we have any flat earthers in tonight? Good, excellent, nice to see you. Fantastic, thank you for coming. If you're looking for the edge, it's not here. It's in Polegate, apparently. But no, flat earthers, they are actual people, and they live amongst us. They live and breathe amongst us, and they believe that the Earth is flat, unlike Mars, which of course is round. But no, these are real people. I came across them on Twitter, and it was hilarious, and I just lost days. Because they are genuine people. The Earth is flat, and they believe this is a thing. Anyway, that was last year. Last month, I came across, and this is absolutely, I came across emergency grab and go bags. Anybody? Did you come across this?
Oh yes.
You heard about this? Ooh, look, some people heard about this. Yes. Yes, we had. Well, this is what we had. Look, I'll show you if I can find my clicker. Can you see this? Can you see this? Look, it's an emergency. I'll stand over here. Emergency grab and go bag. There you are. See that? Okay. This is what. And this is look. Police Scotland. They tweeted this and said to all have this. Okay. And to do things like to get this bag. It's badly out of focus. But to have things like a whistle. We have to have a whistle and a radio. No idea why. Radio. Look, and the food. Where's the food? I think it's that. Oh, it's that little bar there. Look, that's the food. A bit like the sort of thing you get in a coffee with a coffee and that sort of thing. But this was my favourite. Look, we have to have seasonal clothing. Seasonal clothing. And I did this absolutely true. I spent a week looking for my Christmas jumper. So I haven't got a grab and go bag. But anyway, this came up and I thought this is too good. This is wonderful. This is masses of material. So and then I lost days going into this vortex of utter nonsense, but it was genius. So literally within minutes of the police doing this, so Scottish Police started it, all the police forces then did it, and all the local authorities. Genuinely true, this happened in September, and then within minutes, it just went nuts. And there were tweets from one guy, said, Scottish Police, I've made a few improvements to your grab and go bag. And here we are. I think that's a fair. Well, in fact, there were literally so many alcohol-filled bags that were coming up on my Twitter feed that I couldn't put them all up, so it'd be here all day. My favourite, though, I whittled it down to one, so you can see this, was that one. Which is, I think, priceless. And I love, because it was started by Scottish Police, look, it's a Scottish malt whisky. I love it. It's just perfect. So that was great. And then it wasn't just the pictures, it was the, people were making fantastic comments. So we had things like this from one tweeter. Is it okay if I take out the whistle and replace it with a signed photo of Tom Hardy? Which I think that's very good. And then we had people sort of tweeting, obviously, the contents of the bag. So people were saying, you know, what really should go into the grab and go bag. And I love this one. We had 2 pairs of pants, a frying pan, Richmond sausages, and an emergency box of cornetto. So that's genius. That's genius. And then we had political grab bags. So people were tweeting political grab bags, what the politicians would have. And this is my favourite. This is Rees Moggs' grab bag, which I think is delightful. But then, genuinely true, what then happened? I mean, this was hilarious. There was lots of stupidness with this all going on Twitter, which is brilliant. But then a sort of equal amount of people on Twitter were freaked out by this and were going, oh, this is terrible, what's going on? And where are we going to go if this happens? Or what's happening? Is it Brexit? Is this all... and they were getting quite cross and they were getting quite panicked. So then the police went back in and they've got to calm the situation down because it's all going a bit wrong. So what they did was they got the experts in to sort of calm the situation down. Always a bad move to get the experts in. And in fact, the expert they chose was Bear Grylls, who has always been a massive disappointment to me. Come in. Ever since I discovered he's not an actual bear. But the thing, so they spoke to Bear Grylls and they said, look, Bear, I presume they said bear, or grilled. They said, what would you put in your grab bag? And of course, based on years of making action-adventure documentaries from the safety of a five-star hotel, what Bear then did was he gave a list of contents for his grab bag that was so long that this would be his bag. It was just nuts. Anyway, so that's
Nuts.
total nuts. Yeah, just nuts. Just nuts. Yes, yeah. Well, all sorts, all sorts. He wasn't too picky, but it was just nuts. And but I have decided I'm not going to bother with a grab and go bag, obviously, mainly because I can't be bothered, but also because in the event of a disaster, I would simply forget where I put it, and so I'm probably just going to hide under the bed. That's my plan.